we've run into a bit of a challenge. That used to be the road, but it looks like the water's a little too swift. So the question is how to get across. Stay tuned. Could be interesting. All right, so we have a plan. We're walking. They're going to drive. So we're going to walk up to that bridge up there. And they're going to go over the water here at what they think is the lowest point. We are at a standstill for just a moment. And he's hoping that another vehicle will come along that knows the area better than he does, and he can then follow him across. But as muddy as this water is, it's difficult to tell how deep it is. It's probably not all that deep, but it's deep enough that it cause some problems, obviously, for our little Jeep. So I'm going to walk further down to the right than they've explored, see if there's anything that looks shallow enough there. The river starts to split down there, and maybe it'll be less volume of water in each of the little channels. So here our guy comes. Now I wonder if that's the same area where you do it in reverse. I'm not sure. We'll worry about that a couple of days from now. Well, having escaped the river of death, we're now on the highway of hell. How do you like them metaphors, huh? It is rather steep on the right-hand side here, though. So I'm urging our driver to stick to the left-hand side. Good thing it's not a wet, slippery road today. All this dry stuff instead. George, I think if this was a two-lane highway, blacktop, fender guards on either side, we wouldn't be having any fun at all.
Right, Steve. We'd be sleeping.
We'd probably be sleeping. Instead, we are on the edge of our seats. George, you know how some people believe that the moon landing was faked? It was actually done on a set. I'm thinking that when we get to the top of the hill there, we're going to see Santa Monica Bay on the other side. We haven't really been in Nepal at all. We've just been in the Santa Monica Mountains. Right, in the peninsula there. We've been looking for P22 and P27. I could be wrong, of course. We'll see what happens when we get to the top. All right, so we are at the top, and I was wrong. There is no Santa Monica Bay on the other side. On the other hand, this is what they call one of those photo opportunities. If Kodak was still around, they would call it a Kodak moment. It isn't one thing, it's another. And we haven't even had lunch yet. I can't imagine any of those buses going through this. And if they do, I hope the guy gets extra pay. I know we got four-wheel drive. I think we could use six-wheel drive. But little by little, looks like he's going to make it. You know, George, I'm thinking this really isn't much different than the 405 at rush hour. Kind of stop and go, a little bumpy. Well, okay, so I was being a little facetious about this road and the 405 during rush hour. The 405's a lot worse. You knew that was coming, didn't you? We just made it to the top of the hill here. after about 5 hours on the road, it's time to stop for lunch. And this looks like a great place. Not only that, it's the only place. This is the only place we've seen in 5 hours. So we don't care what they're serving. We're going to be happy. Cup of ginger tea coming right up. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Okay. This is where we are going to have lunch. While we have been inside lollygagging around, our driver believes there's something wrong with this particular brake shoe, so he's working on the brake shoe. And this could be the highlight of the day for the locals. Except the local dog doesn't care. Dogs don't care about stuff like that. Here's some bikers heading south. If they only knew what's ahead of them. Well, maybe they do. The only way to get in here is the way that we came, so good luck with that. Anyway, we're told we have 2 hours left. I'm hoping it's closer to 1. I've done absolutely nothing except sit and get bounced around for 4.5 hours, and I'm exhausted, so who knew? We are back on the road, and so are the little animals carrying packs. We've been told it's about 2 hours. I'm hoping it's a little less due to the skill of our driver. Those guys are walking. It's going to take us 2 hours, and they are walking. Well, what's the name of the village?
Gummy.
Gomi.
Oh, that's where we're staying.
Is that where we're staying?
Yeah.
All right, it's in sight. Wow, well, we are finally here. Hotel Logami. 24 hours hot shower sounds pretty enticing. Attached and normal rooms. Does anybody have some normal rooms? A souvenir shop, maybe. All right, pretty small town. Actually, town. Let's call it a village. So let's go inside and check it out. We are waiting for our tea. These gentlemen are enjoying the sunshine. This is the interior of our place. We just climbed up those stairs. George is pretty sure they're not OSHA approved. Got a little skylight up here, which is good. So our particular room is this one right here. George has already claimed that bunk. I've got that one there. And we do apparently have, I think it's ours. And yes, the dreaded European stool. Oh dear. Actually, George and I have already had some practice today in other locations. I think we got the hang of it. We're getting ready for our tour of the village, but I just thought I'd take these moments to kind of give you an idea of our surroundings. This is, of course, supposed to be much more Tibetan in terms of terrain and trees and stuff like that than Nepal. But it's still part of Nepal. I think this is downtown, wherever we are. Or it could be wrong. It could be uptown. Here we have the prayer wheels. I'm surprised that George, I'm surprised you passed up the temptation to use the prayer wheels. This is the entrance to the monastery. Not quite as palatial as the one that we saw at our last stop. This is a much smaller town. I don't know if we're gonna go inside yet, so I'm just filming the courtyard. We're allowed to photograph that Buddha, but the ones to the left, the historic ones, the answer is no. And then we have a skylight that has something that looks very old up there. And you probably can't see the ceiling all that well. That's also painted. And that area is as well. So we go for the Buddha, and then there are the little prayer tables and benches without any robes here. And it's too dark to photograph the back. But we'll end with that Buddha. So the goats are going home for the night. I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Spend the night inside somewhere, or?
Because there's so many places living here to go inside to stay the night here.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, those goats know. They know it's time to go home. Also, maybe time for dinner. This young lady is trying to get her cow to go in a certain direction. Oh, I guess to go in for the night. But that one just went wandering away. I don't know if she has to come get that one or not. All right, so she's shutting the door. Maybe she'll now go after the other one. One last shot for the night. This is a rare privilege to be in a Tibetan and Nepali kitchen. It's a little bit warmer in here. Our guide has good connections. I think that gentleman is the cook. We'll soon find out. Stay tuned. More coming. Cooking in the kitchen with George and Steve. Fresh vegetables in that little pan right there. This guy could be working at the cordon bleu. And we got here's the tea lady. Mom seems to be interested. No, that's okay. This is the social hub. Anybody is here. And stuff's getting served. I think that's my noodle soup. Folks are cooking. They're looking good. Looking good. Here's the final result. So shell macaroni noodles that have been first boiled and then fried with an egg and vegetables. And then vegetable noodle soup.
Enjoy your dinner.
And I don't think I'm going to be able to eat all that.
Eggs for dinner. Yes.
So George is having scrambled eggs and this special kind of local bread with a little honey. And there you have it. That's our dinner for tonight. It's the beginning of, I think, day number 6. It's a bright sunny day. We are on our way for only about a 3-hour drive, thank goodness, to Loman, which is in Lower Mustang, a little bit higher elevation. I think we're at about 12 now, so we'll be, we're only around 11, but what the heck? What's 1,000 feet among friends? So we're getting ready for our trip. We're going to see some more monasteries. We're going to see some more gumpas. It's too early to say that I'm gumped out, but I may be getting close to being gumped out. I think that's our bridge down there, and it's got a bunch of very old looking wooden planks. We do get to go over this bridge, and I don't know if you can see the wooden superstructure underneath this bridge, but I think we want to get across quickly. We're getting higher. Not quite as high as that cloud, but we're working on it. That's our destination, Lo Lung Tan. We're almost there, but we're taking a 5-minute break. So just to give you a little perspective on this area, much more Tibetan than Himalayan. So we're almost there. We have one last challenge.
Traffic jam.
It's a traffic jam. It's a midday traffic jam, that's what it is. Why do they have the yellow on their horns?
Because of the pineapple easily like the salmon. Like they have many, like the owner have many owner are here.
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Oh, that one hit the car. Hope he's okay. We are staying at the Lotus Holiday Inn. I wonder if the Holiday Inn folks know about that. So from the inside, here we go, a very nice, big, great room with a skylight. And look at this, no heat in the hotel, but I hope they're going to turn this on tonight. Room 103.
You can have the big bed there if you want.
George is giving me the big bed. Wow, pretty cool. Okay. And the nice thing, the head is occupied right now, but it has a Western style stool, so this is high living. Although they don't turn the power on until after dark, and then we can charge our phones. So we've been told. Alright, so it doesn't quite fit. It's close. Stay tuned. Yeah, well, okay, it doesn't fit. So the next pressing question is, can we find another one somewhere in northwest Nepal? And if we can, how the heck do we get it here? Well, as we're passing by, this is the Lo Menthang Muskan restaurant. And I have to tell you, it looks so inviting. Maybe we could use a little marketing, Western marketing here. We're back at our little hotel, and much to our surprise, there are a lot of folks here. And some of them clearly are truckers because they've done their laundry, and they're hanging it out. I assume they're all staying here, and I'm thinking about the little kitchen. Hope this guy's brought in some extra help because it was not well staffed today for lunch. We've got our dinner order in for 6 o'clock, and hopefully everyone else is going to eat after that. I'll let you know. And we're hoping, of course, they're going to turn on this heater tonight because this, of course, this center cord is unheated. All right, we are on our way to the clinic. We are in a hotel. We're not in a clinic. Not exactly what I had in mind. We don't know this gentleman's qualifications, but let's see what happens. So we're on our way to the clinic, and I don't know how many more shots of this that you can stand of the contrast between the village and the surrounding mountains, but here's one more. We are at the community health section. Well, the next step is Benadine.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. We're getting ready to apply the bandage. No stitches at this time. Oh, and he's going to get a hot pink ace bandage around your head, George. Hot pink is a great color. At the final clip. It's clipped in place, George. Now, no headbutting with the goats out there when you see them. George is walking back under his own power, and life goes on in Nepal. Things haven't changed a bit. Don't know where those horses are going, but there he goes. Later that afternoon, as they say, things are starting to fall into place. George is out negotiating with the insurance company to see if they will cover the cost of the helicopter trip. They, of course, want certain things from the person that treated him this morning, so we'll see what happens. 10 o'clock is maybe our helicopter. It's the morning of the 24th. We are going to bid adieu to the Lotus Holiday Inn. The village is waking up. Trekkers are getting ready to trek. And most importantly, we are looking for the helicopter. Should be here literally within the next 15 minutes. I'm hoping to catch it as it lands. It's been in the air for about an hour now, I think. Next stop, Pokhara. And we are excited about going back. Alright, so our helicopter has finally arrived. Well, everyone wants to help. Looks like a nice helicopter. We're going to get the back seat. We've got some fancy controls. We're ready to go. Big event for this little city, town, village. Pokhara. Theoretically, there was supposed to be an ambulance to meet George. I guess we'll have to walk around the other side of the building to see if that's true. The fun thing about little airports like this is you actually get to walk on the tarmac. Airports like LAX are just so big and so impersonal, and here we are, we're just walking now right along the route here to go to the entrance where supposedly maybe we'll find the policeman who will want to question us, and we're okay with that because he just wants to make sure we haven't been taken advantage of with the air evacuation, and we'll see what goes on from there. But don't you love it, folks? Just get off the plane and walk to the bag claim lounge. Welcome to Pokhara, and yes, we are happy to be here. We're on our way to get the CT scan. It's a good thing that this is not rush hour. Things would be a lot worse. Lots of folks standing in lots of lines, but we are going right down this hall. Good thing we didn't have to take a number. We're just sitting here with the other folks that are sitting here waiting for the results. Hospitals all over the world, and everyone is waiting for the results. It's true. We are headed back to the clinic. We've got the scan. We will soon have the doctor's explanation. How much longer can I string this out? Can I keep building the suspense? Only time will tell.
You want to sit up front?
No, back is fine.
So we need a camera.
Camera, okay.
Come.
Here are the results of the CT scan. It does prove that George does have a brain. Next up, our visit to the Peace Mountain. Well, okay. Maybe we didn't quite understand the magnitude or lack of magnitude of the trek. We drove up further than we thought. We thought we've got day packs, we've got water, we've got stuff for blisters, but it looks like we just go up those stairs and somewhere up there is the stupa. So we're still going to be stupefied, but it may be a little bit less of a trekking adventure than we thought. The only observation I can make is I think that religiously devout folks, I mean extremely religiously, actually do this on their knees, one step at a time. Because we're able-bodied Westerners, we're just going to walk up. Now talk about a good view. On the other hand, when the next big earthquake comes, I'm not sure I'd want to have a house perched on a ridge like that, especially considering some of the construction techniques. Everybody likes helpful signs, and you have to agree this one is helpful. It says, "Way to Peace Pagoda." All right, but my question is, what choice do you have? You got to go to the right and then to the left. No one is going to get lost at this point. Be still my heart, we are almost there. And actually, this is a beautiful little walkway with all these flowers leading up to the Japanese Buddhist Peace Monument. This sign makes perfect sense. However, no one is being silent. Everyone's having a great time. So that's one of those signs that's sort of doomed to failure from the very beginning. We've got a group photo going on over here. Don't sit on the water tank. That seems to be a reasonable sign, and no one's sitting on the water tank. There's the lake, and coming into the right is Pokhara. It's the second biggest city in Nepal after Kathmandu. I think they've got about close to 3 million folks here. It's a little bit more of a prosperous town. It lives primarily off of tourism. This is the jumping off point for trekkers for the Annapurna region.
Because of it.
A couple of basic facts. Lord Buddha was born in 563 BC in Nepal. After 29 years, though, moved to India, where religion was widespread. Although many centuries later it declined and Hinduism increased. Meanwhile, after World War II, Fuji, after seeing the devastation of Hiroshima, decided that he would build 100 of these temples throughout the world, these peace temples. And this one is number 73. George has reminded me that there's a very nice one in Palos Verdes, but he does not recall whether this is part of Mr. Fuji's 100 goal. But this one is number 73. There's no indication on whether he's reached all 100 based on the text that is there to the right. So, despite some of my earlier snarky comments about signs, this is a very nice temple. We are going down in the cave. Have to walk down there. It's like a pilgrimage. We have just entered the cave, and there's a covered shed entrance, which maybe is a good thing because it is very humid in here. The water is dripping from the ceiling, and we got steps going down. Sort of reminds me of an old miner's cave in Knott's Berry Farm back in the 50s. It wasn't very long, but it was kind of like this. I don't think it's there anymore. And we've got a traffic backup. Somehow we feel some fresh air coming in, which is welcome because it's so humid. Got a vast framework. I can hear a waterfall. Can't see it yet. Maybe this is, we're finally going to see the devil's body at the bottom of the falls. I think that's the grotto that I described just a moment ago. Heading towards the surface, had enough down here. At the top of those stairs, we are out of here. That's the whistle for silence at the Buddha shrine right behind me, which I can't photograph. Like I said, smart marketing. You gotta walk all past this stuff to get out.